Ready?
Can I get the total?
Alan, please. Thank you. A wise man was once asked, "What is something that's rare?" He then replied, "True love."
Now we have been studying this man for several months now, and we have perfected his technique.
Now, because of our perfection in his techniques, we've come up with a simple guide on how to be
The man,
the myth.
the legend,
That is Mr. Newman.
That's right, Mr. Newman.
Now we have created a simple 3-step process on how to be Mr. Newman. The first step is how to dress like him.
The second step is how to talk and what key phrases to use.
And the third step is what gestures to make.
Now let us begin our
I'm gonna add a
journey.
couple new ones.
Now let's begin our journey into the inner mind of Mr. Newman.
Now everyone has their own fashion sense, right?
And Mr. Newman does not like any other.
Both questions until the end. So,
I just want are you dressed as
I am dressed as Mr.
I
Newman.
just want to point that out just to make sure I know.
How to dress like Mr. Newman. Now there are 3 main points on how to dress like Mr. Newman.
So let's begin with the shirts. Mr. Newman can be seen wearing one of the 4 following shirts.
On colder days, you may see him rocking a gray sweater as modeled by Andrew, or a sweater vest.
You can also see him wearing a striped button down, or on occasions, flannels.
The third item of clothing you might see him wearing is a polo shirt. Very fashionable, but make sure that the top button is always unbuttoned.
And the last shirt that you can see wearing is his Deer Park polo.
Now, moving on, we're going to move on to his pants. There's a more limited variety to this category.
You have the option of wearing jeans, a very nice pair of jeans, some black dress pants, or some khakis.
Now, moving on. Shoes. Oh, and don't forget to finish off the pants with either a black or brown belt.
Moving on to the shoes, you have a color choice of brown or black, and you can either wear sneakers or a nice pair of dress shoes.
And don't forget to accessorize. Mr. Newman is famous for the black key ring that he wears on the first belt loop right of your belly button.
Always wear pens in your pocket if you have a shirt pocket.
And the glasses. Of course, the glasses. Mr. Newman is always fitted with a fashionable pair of reading glasses with a metal frame. Now that we've covered how to dress like him,
We're going to teach you what key phrases to use and how to talk like him.
so we're going to start off with his speech. Now, Mr. Newman's, the way he talks is very complex. It's very knowledgeable, he always knows where he's going with his points, yet calm and relaxed at the same time, yet at the same time maintaining his enthusiastic and humorous tone. Now, because of its complexity, the best way to show you guys how he talks is to have Mr. Newman read the following sentence from the board. Mr. Newman, if you will.
My tone is calm and relaxed, and at the same time it is knowledgeable. And I always know where I am going with my points. Yet still, at the same time, I am enthusiastic and humorous.
See? Now that we've all heard him speak, the last thing you need to add to your tone, to your speech, is a very sarcastic tone. And once you have that, you have Mr. Newman's speech.
Spelled speech wrong.
Next, we'll talk about the key phrases. The first key phrase that we mentioned earlier is, "Are we ready?" Now, class, please repeat, "Are we ready?" Tammy, just want to hear that again? Maybe a little more
Are we
enthusiastic?
ready?
But still calm.
Are we ready?
That's perfect. Good. You're getting the hang of it.
The second key phrase is, did you get that? So class, please repeat. Did you get that?
Did you get that?
Kyle, go ahead.
Did you get that?
More enthusiastic.
Did you get that?
Yeah, pretty
Perfect.
good.
And the last of the key phrases, and arguably the most important key phrase is, Alan, put your phone on. So, to have everyone, because of its importance, we'd like Alan to join us up front. Alan, please, everyone a hand for Alan. Yes, put your phone. We need that. So now, Alan, that you have your phone out, class, please tell Alan to put his phone away.
Put your phone
Alan, put your phone away.
Tammy, let's try it again.
Sorry.
Alan, put your phone away.
Oh, what's it?
No, just you.
Oh, Alan, put your phone.
That's good. Sorry, thank you, Alan.
Now once you get that and his tone, you can practically talk like Mr. Newman himself.
Now let's move on to what gestures to make. So,
The first point that we have to make is his hands and how his hands operate.
now there are 3 things you need to know about his hands. Number 1 being they're always open when he's giving a speech, never closed. And what I mean by this is when he's talking, whether he's like giving a demonstration, he's giving points or something, hands just always remain open.
The next point is that his hands, 90% of the time, match the syllables that he is speaking.
Now, I'll demonstrate. What we mean by this is no matter if he's giving point-by-point instructions or he's just talking to us and explaining something, the syllables match his hand movements. And the third aspect you need to know about his hands is when he's at the smartboard, one hand is always in his pocket, whether he's pointing or writing on the smartboard. Next, we'll move on to eye contact.
So eye contact. When you are in front of the class, you will randomly select at least one student to talk to for at least 15 to 25 seconds. So when you're up here, you have to make sure you look at least at one person for 15 to 25 seconds.
Now, you guys are all probably wondering why we have this little TM trademark symbol right here. Well, that's because Mr. Newman has patented and trademarked the pivot. Now, Mr. Newman, when he starts off his lessons, starts with a pivot.
Now we will be showing you exactly how to do the pivot. And if any of you would like to join us and stand up and practice, I'm going to demonstrate with Joe. So you start off with going on the ball of your heels or on your toes, whatever feels more comfortable. Now you're going to make a 180-degree turn. And then once you make that 180-degree turn, you'll clap your hands, clasp them, and you have to make sure you get the clapping sound.
Make sure you really cup your hands on this one. Now, class, if you'd like to stand up and try the pivot and the turn.
Come on,
And
don't
you
be
too,
shy.
don't be shy.
Don't be shy, come on.
If I want
Just
to.
right there, right in your seat. Now, everyone, on me. You're going to pivot, clasp. Good. Now, you may all take a seat. Now, make sure that one of these, the pivot, is always finished by a key phrase, like we did in the beginning.
Are you ready?
Are we ready? Exactly. See, now we're getting the point of it. Now, the wrap-up. We've taught you how to dress like him, how to talk, how to move your hands like him. Now, we just like to say one thing. Did you get that?